Hello everyone, welcome back to the videos on registration under GST. So in this video, we are going to discuss about the next section of registration, that is section number 25, procedure for registration. So in this section, we will discuss about the procedures or main provisions regarding certain procedures for registration, and we will have a brief discussion in today's video, and the next video will follow the discussions of section 25 again. So the first question regarding the procedure for registration is where and by when. So where to apply for registration and what is the time period to apply registration. Okay, and this is discussed in section 25 subsection 1. So we can let's see where and by when to apply for registration. Okay, so we have two main cases discussed here. First case is in case of a person who is liable to be registered under section 23 or 24. Okay, so 22 or 24. So 22 deals with the registration for persons in case of their threshold limit, and 24 discusses about the registration where there is a compulsory registration. So the first case where a person is liable to be registered under 22 or 24, where is the place in every such state or union territory in which he is so liable, and when should he apply for registration. That means if a person who is liable to be registered under section 22 or 24 in every such state or union territory in which he is so liable. Okay, so he should apply for registration within 30 days from the date on which he becomes liable to be registered. For example, I am a person who is liable to be registered. Okay, so I become liable to registration on 17th August 2020. So within 17th September 2020, I should obtain registration. Okay, so that is my duty to do there. So I should obtain registration within 30 days from the date on which he becomes liable to registration. I become liable on 17th August 2020, and within 1 month I should apply for registration. Okay, then the second case is regarding the casual taxable person or the non-resident taxable person. Okay, we have already discussed who is a casual taxable person and a non-resident taxable person. So in case of a casual taxable person or a non-resident taxable person in every such state or union territory in which he is so liable, then these persons will be applying for registration, or these persons should apply for registration at least 5 days prior to the commencement of business. Okay, they should apply for registration at least 5 days before starting the business. So this provision is with regards to casual taxable person or non-resident taxable person. So I am a particular supplier of goods, or I am a particular person who carries out the supply of goods or services, and I became liable to registration, and in that particular situation, when is the time to apply for registration? Okay, that can be 30 days in normal cases, and in case of casual taxable person and all, it is at least 5 days before starting the business. Okay, so I hope this is clear for you. So that is where and by when to apply for registration. Next, we will see another interesting another interesting provision regarding registration under section, procedures for registration under section 25. First one is regarding the state-wise registration. In that we have the first one registration per state-wise. So in case of GST, there is no centralized form of registration. Okay, there is no centralized registrations. So for example, here we deal with two main situations. One situation is that a particular business entity has a business in different states, and the second situation is a particular business entity have different branches within a state. Okay, so first case is having branches in multiple states. Second case is having multiple branches within a state. Okay, so when we look into the first situation where the business entity has its branches in multiple states, in that case, they need to take separate state-wise registration. That means for each state, they should take a particular registration. Okay, so for the branches in different states, they should take state-wise registration. At the same time, looking into the second situation where there is different branches in a particular state, that means different branches within a state, in that case only one registration is required. Even though that particular business entity has different branches in within a state, they shall be granted only one registration or a single registration, and in that single registration they can declare a particular place as principal place of business, and the other branches will be considered as additional place of business. Okay, so I hope that is clear to you. And in some situations, there are chances or there is a provision to take different separate registration for separate branches within a state. Okay, so in normal cases, only one registration will be granted for different branches within a state, but at times there is a possibility of giving separate registration for separate branches. And let's see what is the provision regarding that. So separate registration for different places of business within a state. In that case, in order to obtain such a separate registration, they should comply with certain conditions, or they should satisfy certain conditions. The first condition is that the registered person should have more than one place of business. Okay, he should have more than one place of business. Then only we can grant separate registration. Then second condition is that he should not be availing the benefit of compensation scheme. I hope you remember compensation scheme, which we discussed in the first module. And third condition is that the registered person is required to issue tax invoice. If all these three conditions are satisfied, that particular business entity can go for separate registration. They will be granted separate registration. And to submit the application for separate registration, they should submit the application in form REG 01 in respect of such place of business. So moving forward deeply into different procedures like application of registration and all, we'll see there are different forms. We need to give application in a particular form. We need to give the next application in another particular form. So different types of form will be there, okay, of which we will discuss in next coming videos. So this is regarding separate registration. In order to obtain separate registration, they should satisfy these three conditions, and after that they should make an application, submit a separate application in form REG 01. Okay, then the third main case is regarding the composition levy in case of separate registration for multiple places of business within a state or union territory. So this composition levy comes in case of separate registration. Okay, if in case there is a composition levy in separate registration, what is to be done? So if a person is paying tax for one of his places of business under normal scheme, he shall not pay tax under composition levy for any other place of business. So if he is paying tax under normal scheme for a particular place of business, then he shall not pay tax under composition levy. And if in case one of the places of business, that means one of the separately registered place of business of a registered person becomes ineligible to pay tax under composition levy, then all other registered places also will become ineligible to pay tax under composition levy. Okay, so this is the provision that you should keep in mind regarding composition levy. And the main term or one of the main concept is regarding the voluntary registration. So voluntary registration is getting himself registered voluntarily. Nobody is compelling him. So he is getting registration. That particular person may not be liable to get registered sometimes. So he may have a voluntary approach towards this registration, and he may get himself registered voluntarily. So that is known as voluntary registration. By his own will, he is getting registered. So if a particular person goes for voluntary registration also, he may be um, liable, or the provisions of the act will be applicable to that particular person also. Okay, so for a normal registered person and also for a voluntarily registered person, the provisions will be same. And once a person obtains voluntary registration, he has to pay tax even though his aggregate turnover does not exceed 20 lakh rupees or 10 lakh rupees. Keep in mind this particular point. Okay, and so what is the purpose of voluntary registration? So voluntary registration is obtained by the business for ensuring seamless flow of credit to the customers. So this is a main objective behind voluntary registration obtained by different persons. So this is regarding voluntary registration and what are the provisions regarding voluntary registration and all. Okay. And now we'll talk about who are distinct persons or distinct establishments. Okay, so we discussed earlier in case of state-wise registration that if a person who has obtained or required to obtain registration, that is more than one registration, whether in one state or more than one state, then in that case, such registration, the persons in case of such registration will be considered as distinct persons. That means in case of state-wise registration and separate registration, a person who has obtained more than one registration, whether in one state or more than one state, then that particular persons under registration will be treated as distinct persons. Okay, this term will be used to describe those persons, distinct persons. And if in case a person who has obtained or is required to obtain registration in a state or union territory in respect of an establishment, establishment means a business entity. Such business entity or establishment in another state or union territory, okay, in a particular state as well as in another state, such establishments will be treated as establishments of distinct persons. So here there are two, we came across two terms, that is distinct persons as well as establishments of distinct persons. So distinct persons are the people or the person who is obtaining registration in one state or more than one state where he has different places of business. That particular person is known as distinct person, and also that particular establishment is known as establishments of distinct persons. Okay, so these two terms are important regarding registration process. Fifth provision is regarding PAN number, that is permanent account number. So in order to grant registration, the PAN number or the permanent account number is mandatory for a particular person. So if there is a PAN number only, he may obtain registration under the GST Act. So PAN is very important, or it is a mandatory document to be produced. And sixth is UIN, that is unique identity number. So unique identity number comes in the case of certain specialized agency of United Nations or multilateral financial institutions and organizations. So as notified by the UN Act 1947, any specialized agency of the United Nations or multilateral financial institution notified under this act, consulate or embassy of foreign countries, and any other person notified by the commissioner is required to obtain a UIN number from the GSTN portal. So these specialized organizations or agencies of United Nations as notified by UN Act 1947, these people, these specialized agencies and organizations are required to obtain UIN from the GSTN portal. UIN means unique identity number. And if this unique identity number is obtained by them only, they can claim a refund of taxes paid on notified supplies of goods and services. So in order to obtain or in order to claim a refund of taxes, this UIN is mandatory and important. Okay. Please remember, this comes into account only in case of specialized agencies or organizations as notified by the UN Act. So I hope you got a brief idea about or an introductory idea about the procedures or what are the requirements for registration. So when do a particular person need to apply for registration, and what should a casual taxable person, or when should a casual taxable person go for obtaining registration? Then what are the procedures, or what should be done in case of state-wise registration? What is the provision? In that we have state-wise registration and also separate registration. Then what are the provisions regarding a voluntary registration? Then who is a distinct person, or what is an establishment of distinct person mean? And what is the requirement of PAN? Is PAN required? And also the requirement of UIN, to whom it is applicable and all. Okay. So I hope you got an idea about these particular 6 points, and we will continue the discussion on section 25 in the next video to come. Thank you.